What if social media happened exactly where you want it to happen? If social interaction was not bound to pages, platforms, or conventions? If you were able to experience the web together, to be part of a growing community with your avatar, sharing a whole new experience together? As a WEBLIN, this vision has already become a reality. With just one click, every single website can be changed into your own personal interaction platform. No registration needed. You're even able to get to know other WEBLINs that are currently using the website too. Together, we can explore websites and exchange ideas and thoughts, even meet in a video chat, and connect without the need of any other platform or app. Customize your very own avatar with just a few clicks, or even use your NFTs while staying anonymous at any time, protecting your privacy. If you want to, you can disable the browser extension just as easily. As a WEBLIN, you will be part of a diverse community, changing the web to a unique and never-before-seen community-driven experience. So let's go. Join the WEBLIN community.
tell us what is the merge and how does it fit into the greater context?
Yeah, what is the merge? What are we all doing here watching this stream? The merge is a long time coming of the arrival of proof of stake to Ethereum. That's really what it is. It's Ethereum transitioning into
All right, great. I was just checking to see if Justin Drake is here. Justin, are you with us?
Isn't he in Boulder? No? Oh, someone mentioned that was a joke.
Okay. No sweat. We can pass over that for now and get back to Justin. And so, Anthony, I'm going to pass it to you, my friend.
Yep. So next thing that we want to discuss is client diversity. Now, this is something that many people may have heard of already. It basically describes the aspect that we have within Ethereum, where we have multiple clients that can be run on the network. There is a bunch of them on both the execution layer and consensus layer side. It is very important to network health, decentralization, and security. So we're going to have Pooja run us through, why a client diversity can be a problem in, when it's in its bad state, and how do we overcome that, and what a good state looks like. To you, Pooja.
Thank you, Anthony. Yes, client diversity is another important topic of consideration, along with the upgrade of the existing client nodes. I know we cannot just solve the issue in the next 5 minutes, but I would like to take a few minutes and maybe share my thoughts on the topic. I would quickly like to share a presentation and walk us through like how do we can overcome the problem of client diversity. As on the screen, you are seeing currently two charts, one for the execution clients and one for the consensus client. Red, yellow, green charts are generally self-explanatory, but here we see that red is mostly on the execution side. Let's see why is it. For proof of work, we were considering that the client adoption should not be over 50% to avoid the 51% attack and everything else. So Geth is certainly not in a very good position. And there's another major reason for that is like if there's anything goes wrong with Geth, a bigger section of the client may go down. But on the other side, if you can look into the consensus client chart, you see the prism, it's not over 50%, but still it is in yellow, not in green. That's because when we come up to the beacon chain or the consensus layer, the consensus is made over 2/3 of participation and 2/3 of voting. Here it is over 33%, and that's the reason why we have marked it as yellow, not in the green. Now that we are switching to proof of stake today, the requirement has changed. And we will be seeing like, why do we need client diversity? That is one of the biggest questions that may come to everyone's mind when we are looking into these charts. Probably we partially answered the most common question because we know there are major points of having a diversified distribution of client for obvious reason. Network security is one of the biggest reason, and there are other advantages of having this diversity when we are testing any upgrade or testing any protocol to be launched on the mainnet. It helps in identifying consensus bug. With the proof of a stake, there are other incentives associated with the staking and also helps with finality. Definitely having multiple client options for node running is a strength of community. While EL clients diversity looks worse on chart we just saw, and most of us may know that this has not been the case forever, but at time when parity and open Ethereum stopped there, like they were not continued anymore. There were only fewer client options available for mining. I consider that as one of the major reasons for having more clients over this side. However, there were more clients coming up, and the less availability of proper documentation of clients can be one of the reasons, which may not be true as of now. And we are hoping that things are not going to be the same. We will see a lot of changes coming up. So be ready for the changes with the merge upgrade. Did you know we have multiple options for you to run a client node? For execution layer, we are having 8 client nodes, which will be available post-merge for you to pick up to run an Ethereum node. And also on the consensus side, the number is no less. It is 6 clients available for you to pick up a node running option, or maybe become a validator for Ethereum blockchain. If you were not aware of any of the clients shared in the earlier slides, or you want to know more about that, or maybe about your favorite clients feature, what's coming up, check out the Know Your Client series. That's on Ethereum Cat Herders YouTube. You probably have this question in the mind by now, like how, as an individual or an institution, you can make a difference. Well, if you are a solo staker or solo node runner, you would want to pick up a client that suits your hardware requirement, having an ELCL combination that you think will be easier for node running with minimal setup. However, we do have support from the client team available. And if you are a staking pool or representing a staking pool, you must consider running more than one client. If running only one client node, then it is highly recommended to have it not the major client, like the client which is having the largest network share. I have added a couple of charts here for people's reference. Like we can see when it comes to staking and when it comes to rewarding and punishment as well. Slashing can be painful and rewarding at the same time, depending upon which side of the node running you are. When you are running a majority client, and if slashing happens, the pain meter shows that's very high, pain meter is very high. But if you are running a minority client, definitely you are getting more reward. Similarly, the chart on the right side, it shows for some of the bigger pools and what combinations, client distribution they are having. Well, this is amazing that we are moving towards merge, and client diversity is definitely crucial. Join us in building a resilient Ethereum network. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Pooja. That was great. I hope everyone got a lot out of that. Client diversity is definitely critical and important to Ethereum. Fizz, do we have Justin Drake?
We do.
Awesome.
Welcome, Justin.
Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm here.
So glad to have you. Oh, I was going to introduce you. So
Go ahead.
Justin Drake is absolutely, he has become one of my favorite Ethereum researchers. If you've ever listened to him, he's on Bankless frequently, and he speaks so much truth. And so tonight we're going to have Justin talk to us about the energy efficiency or energy use reduction in the new Ethereum proof of stake network. So take it away, Justin.
Yeah, for sure. So, at a high level, we're going to be reducing the energy consumption of the whole world by roughly 0.2%. So Ethereum right now is consuming 0.2% of all the electricity that is produced. Bitcoin is on the order of 0.5%. And I can't think of a single technological innovation that reduces worldwide electricity consumption as much as the move to proof of stake does. And one of the really cool things about this electricity reduction is that the mainstream understands it's something that's so obviously good. There's so many advantages to the merge, but things like the security improvements, things like the monetary improvements are much, much, much harder to understand. So I think as a community, we shouldn't be shy, and we really should be proud of this achievement that we've unlocked. And as Tim Bako said, it's not just about the 0.2% of all the electricity of the world that we're consuming. It's also the fact that we can't scale as a network. We want to become the settlement layer for the internet of value. We need to grow to trillions of dollars to have very high economic security and economic bandwidth. And we can't go consuming 2%, 20%, 50% of all the world's electricity produced. Now, the other thing that I want to highlight in this discussion of electricity consumption is that it's only one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is the hardware, and this is always very much overlooked, especially from Bitcoiners who try and talk about the energy consumption being largely stranded energy, green energy, which may or may not be true, but we know for sure that the ASICs, the hardware, is not green. It's usually hardware that depreciates fairly fast, that is, single use in the case of Bitcoin, and that just ends up in a dump. And building ASICs is very resource intensive, especially the leading node ASICs like 3 nanometer or 5 nanometer that are used to build these pieces of hardware. It consumes lots of water, etc. Now, in the case of Ethereum, there's millions of GPUs specifically that are used to mine, somewhere between 2 and 20 million. Basically, it depends on what type of GPU is being used to mine. But what we should expect to happen is these millions of GPUs to enter the market, and that to lead to a relief in the price of GPUs for gamers. So I guess it's good news all around, maybe except for the miners.
Wow, that is so great. Yeah, there are so many benefits that come from this shift to proof of stake to so many stakeholders. And I would like to say, no one's losing out, but, people who were GPU mining, this is hard for them. And I hope they choose to join us with proof of stake, but it's so beneficial to everyone else. Thanks, Justin, for sharing.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, the next topic, I think, is probably the most important one. The reason we're all in Ethereum, decentralization. It is critical to Ethereum. It is what we're all about. And who better to talk about it than someone that I really respect in the ecosystem and that is all about decentralization, Super Fizz himself. So go ahead, Fizz, take the floor.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to talk about centralization, and I'm going to talk really fast because I think we have about 10 minutes before the merge itself, and hopefully everybody's getting really excited. We're looking forward to hearing from Danny as we go into the merge, but I want to talk about something that is so incredibly important to our entire network, and that is that we become and maintain our decentralization as a network. People have this idea that we need to stake more coins on the Ethereum proof of stake network. We don't actually need to stake more coins. It is not something that will inherently contribute to our success. But what will contribute to success are people who stake in decentralized ways, and that is that means that we are so decentralized that nation states, that corporations trust our network enough to add them. And if we rely on a few service providers to stake our coins for us, then we don't have a decentralized network. We have a tool that maybe people are trying to extract value from, but we don't have a valuable decentralized network. And that's what we need to build for. If you want to stake with Ethereum, I encourage you
What if social media happened exactly where you want it to happen? If social interaction was not bound to pages, platforms, or conventions? If you were able to experience the web together, to be part of a growing community with your avatar, sharing a whole new experience together? As a WEBLIN, this vision has already become a reality. With just one click, every single website can be changed into your own personal interaction platform. No registration needed. You're even able to get to know other Weblins that are currently using the website too. Together, we can explore websites and exchange ideas and thoughts, even meet in a video chat, and connect without the need of any other platform or app. Customize your very own avatar with just a few clicks, or even use your NFTs while staying anonymous at any time, protecting your privacy. If you want to, you can disable the browser extension just as easily. As a Weblin, you will be part of a diverse community, changing the web to a unique and never-before-seen community-driven experience. So let's go. Join the WEBLIN community.
Stop talking about, and I hope you'll join me in that struggle.
Yeah, it can be a struggle sometimes, right? To kind of, I guess, like explain the benefits of decentralization, why it's so important. But thank you, Fizz, for that. I know we don't have much time here, but we're going to pass it to David now to introduce the next topic.
Yeah, the next topic, it's actually getting down to the next topic is being the merge itself. We are about 8 minutes away. There are 33 blocks and counting. And so we're going to have to actually pass it to some of the experts in the room here because we're getting down to it. It's almost merge time. And for a lot of the people that like don't know what's going on under the scene, once we merge, it's going to be kind of confusing as to what we need to look at, how are we going to vet this? What are we going to look at on the other side? So I'm going to pass it off to Danny Ryan to tell us what he is looking at and what other core devs are looking at to be informed as to what the merge, what's the state of the merge is after we actually hit that block number, that TTD number. Danny, are you with us?
Yo.
Yeah,
What's up, Danny?
Do we have a screen share of some logs and stuff and some dashboards?
Yeah, somebody able to share a screen?
We thought you were going to express those to us verbally.
I am. I can do it all verbally.
I know, right?
Okay. So I think we kind of got the gist. The proof of work chain exists. The beacon chain is watching and waiting for this terminal number, at which point the first block on the proof of work chain that it meets or exceeds this number, the validators say, okay, I'm ready. And they take over. And so at this point, they're all watching, they're all waiting. That is the point at which the first proof of stake merged block will be built. So that's kind of, I'm going to go through kind of the sequence of stuff that we hope to see, the sequence of stuff that might be some red flags. We might start digging and that kind of stuff. So we want to see that first block, that the terminal total difficulty hit, that first proof of stake block. Then that proof of stake mechanism not only builds blocks, but validators send attestations. So these little messages that they say, this is what I see. This is what I see. This is the head of the chain. This is my view of reality. And so right after we get that first block, we also start getting attestations. And so in each block, attestations from prior blocks and prior slots are included. So we hope to see over the course of the first epoch, which is 32 slots, which is about 6 minutes, we hope to see mini blocks. Optimally, we'll see 32. If we see 30 or more, then we're golden. If we see a bit of a precipitous drop, something like 25 in that range, we're going to say, okay, something's looking a little bit weird. We're going to be digging in. But that's going to be one of our first indicators is that first epoch. Do we have mini blocks and do we have similar percentage of attestations? So, if we're 90+% on the blocks and the attestations in that range, we're going to be very happy. There's also this thing, each block, the sync committee. This is also an indicator that similarly we want to see in that 90+% range. So after the merge block can happen anywhere inside of an epoch. So we want to see the finishing of that epoch and then the finishing of the next epoch. If we have over 2/3 of participation, we're going to call that justified, right? And so if we look at one of these panels, it says epoch, and we see how finalized happens and justified happens. That we see pretty much, you see an epoch is justified, then you see an epoch is finalized. So after that, like 6 to 9 minutes, we're going to see if we have 2/3 participation, we're going to see it justified. And then after the next epoch, we're going to see it finalized. So this process is going to take anywhere from 12 to 18 minutes, depending on where that terminal block lands. So let's see some of the other stuff that in these panels that we might be looking for. So on some of the dashboards, we're going to see participation. We're going to see kind of these slots continue to increase. We really want to see these epochs increase. That consensus mechanism is going to switch from proof of work, proof of stake, ideally. And then we also watch logs. So nodes, the implementation of the software, they spit out what they're seeing. You know, they pretty much say like, hey, I got a new block. Hey, I this, that, you know, and it's not, it looks complicated. It looks a bit scary at first, but you know, a lot of this is just human language. It says ready for the merge and then it says terminal total difficulty, that kind of stuff. So we're watching logs. And one of the exciting things is when we see that first block, pretty much, I think all the clients have a nice ASCII panda artwork displayed. So that'll be kind of our first exciting indication. We also watch block explorers. This is kind of a visual representation of the state of the logs of what's going on here. So this, you know, this beacon chain block explorer, this is an open source explorer. This is really cool. We get to see live as blocks come in through this sequence. We also get a little bit of indication when we're watching the epochs justify. So you get this nice visual representation as well. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be watching for. You know, really, we want to see some of these really positive indicators, and then we want to see that finality. Once we see finalization, we can take a deep breath, breathe easy. Then we'll be monitoring, you know, obviously for the next couple hours, for the next couple weeks, and honestly, we're monitoring all the time. So I think we're about 2 minutes till, so I will turn it back over to y'all.
Wow, 2 minutes till. That is, I have finally started to get the butterflies. That is pretty crazy. Okay, what do we need to be looking at on screen here, since we're about to like watch the moment? What happens next year? Are we waiting for the
We
pandas?
definitely want some panda logs.
We definitely
You just
pandas
got
are what's
butterflies?
next. I'm a
Just
stoic
now?
individual. All right, so this is it, huh? We're just waiting for the pandas to show up.
This is the moment of truth.
Come on now. Let's go. Let's
This
go.
was the,
Let's
this
go.
was the, hey, when we're planning the merge call, make sure we have something to say when we're waiting in these times.
I'm going to give a shout out to ETH Finance. I love y'all. Big hugs from Kansas City. That's all I got to say right now. I'm going to go on mute. Love y'all.
Glad to have you, Jeremiah. You're a good man.
Hey, Danny, when merge?
It's never gonna
Now,
happen.
it's now.
It's literally right now.
Now.
7 quadrillion difficulty away.
The
now.
amount of times I've been asked this question, but it is finally now.
The new question is going to be, did it ever happen? Hey, I got pandas. POS activated.
Pandas.
Come on.
Adam too.
Come on now. Let's go.
Thank you,
Pandas.
Paul Honor.
Let's go.
Panda.
And up.
Hey!
Okay.
Right. Hey.
And built on it.
Yay.
Building one chain.
Right.
So, everyone, we knew this would happen. We knew that we would get this far. There's nothing contentious yet. The next 13 minutes are the nail-biting times. So, now it gets fun.
Come on now. All right. I'm eating black licorice for ETH Finance, and I'm going to drink some Lafroig scotch and a little bit of beet juice.
The merge is here. I've been waiting to say that for so long after saying the merge is coming for years. It's here. Oh my God.
Come on.
And,
I don't know.
and importantly,
Remember,
we're still building a single chain.
we
we've got
promised
about
We
not to
merged.
celebrate
We
until
We are
we
not
finalize.
going to merge. We have merged.
Now let's finalize.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
now
I'm
let's
I'm
finalize.
watching logs, and I've seen a block in every slot since the pandas, which is a very good sign. So we're like 6 slots in, and I think we're at 100% block rate. So that's implying that we have a very high percentage of validators online, connected, and running software that works.
We can also see transactions being included into the beacon chain right now.
Kind of want to go make a transaction just to make my
That's what I
my
was about to
first
say.
proof
I
of
want to
stake
be an
transaction.
early transactor on the
Yeah.
on the mainnet. I'm gonna send.
Gas is
Wait.
100 Gwei right now.
Let me
Wow.
get an ENS here.
Wait, what's the gas? What's the gas price?
100.
So you're
100?
saying there is
100,
life
yeah.
on Mars? We got life on Mars. Life on Mars has been validated. Come on.
Benjamin,
Okay,
you're the first ENS I recognize. So because I'm
Wow.
so eager to be a part of this, I'm going to send you a transaction.
100% of blocks so far. We have a block for
Okay,
every
the
slot.
other
we're
really
like
good news-
10.
The other good news is we've included enough attestations to justify this epoch already. That's about on par with what we're
Very
doing
nice.
pre-merge.
Very nice.
So this is looking like participation is actually
Come
holding
on.
up to about where it was. It's the next epoch that
Holy
really
shit.
counts, but this one's good.
Someone click on a block and look at the sync committee participation.
And we're all excited. This isn't really a surprise. We had every expectation that this would unfold this way, but it's still very exciting to see it unfold in reality.
Let's go.
Let's go. That's
Is that
what I'm
97?
saying
I
right
can't see
now.
that.
I was told we can't do sound effects, so I'm not. So I'm going to just say, let's go.
So
Let's
sync,
go. Everybody should unmute and at least start to clap, slow clap a little bit, you know. We don't have to go all in. We don't have to, we can just like enjoy the moment.
Hey, so for anybody who isn't aware of this yet, GPU miners on Ethereum are no longer active. If you're mining a GPU miner on the Ethereum proof of work network, nothing is happening. You cannot, you can mine blocks, but they will not be on the Ethereum network.
Attention GPU miners, you have a huge future in AI renderings.
Your watch has ended.
No, but thank you. I mean, I never
Thank you.
want to. Let's appreciate all the GPU miners did for us. They really
Yes,
are our
absolutely.
family.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of us all did that thing. I mean, we all did it.
And I mean, I eagerly welcome GPU miners to come to proof of stake. The network has done a lot for you. You're a part of us. Join us in proof of stake.
On Beacon Chain is lagging. I'm still watching logs, and I think we're at 100% block rate for all of these slots. So
Sir,
again, some of the visualizers sometimes get out of whack, but the nodes are true.
That's one of the things that I mentioned in the beginning. We don't want you to take away what you see here and say, well, I see 3 missed blocks. That's not the interpretation. As Danny says, they have better logs than this visualizer, which is being hugged by a lot of people. So, yeah.
How many minutes are left in this epoch?
Halfway through this epoch.
Okay. How many minutes are in an epoch again? It was something easy.
There's 32 slots in an epoch,
32 slots
but
in
we'll even know because of the high percentage. We'll probably know that justification is going to happen in 2/3 of the way into the epoch.
Gotcha.
I want to shout out to Bitfly.
Slot 22 or 23.
Yeah, I really appreciate Bitfly for developing Beacon Chain. It's an awesome product. Don't refresh that because I did hit Cloudflare when I refreshed, so it's getting hugged. But we're there. Like, this is happening.
Yeah, there were like 4,000 people on the front page, and yeah.
Congratulations, Danny.
Yeah, congratulations, Danny, Tim, this is so awesome. This is,
This is incredible.
Yeah.
Like
Congratulations,
well
everybody.
over 100 people. have been working
Everyone.
on this
Yeah.
for years.
And-
Congratulations.
Yes, everyone who has put so much time in. All of the people in this call have poured their heart and soul in it, regardless of what your role is. It's not just developers, it's not just researchers, it's community, it's home users, it's people who have a commitment to make this network real. So thank you guys so much for sticking with it. Like, it's paying off right now.
I'm gonna just beat a dead horse, as they say. I think we've 100% of the slots have blocked so far. That's like, this is going as well as it could.
That's amazing.
So far. Tim wanted me to make sure I said so far.
Well, so far, let me say thank you to all the client teams for all their excellent work. I mean, I'm just looking at my logs here, and everything is just amazing. It's perfect. So really well done to all the guys who put all the guys and girls who put all the software together for all this stuff. It's fantastic.
Is that Samir?
It is Samir. Hello, Danny.
Shout out to those guides. Holy shit! Like those guides have carried the solo staking community. I use those guides religiously. Thank you.
Just interrupt. Slot 23. We have enough votes to justify this epoch.
Okay, so we've technically justified the merge transition block. So we're 6.4 minutes away, assuming continual optimal conditions, of finalizing this thing.
So
I'd like to say thank you to everyone on Discord that helps each other out on Discord. It's a big help to us client developers. So if you're one of those people on Discord that helps each other out, then thank you. You made it happen.
Thanks.
Danny, can you really just double down on what it means for this to get finalized? Why is that significant?
So in proof of stake, we have this notion of economic finality. In proof of work, technically, you can theoretically have reorgs to any depth. At economic finality in proof of stake, to have a chain that looks just as good, you have to actually burn at least 1/3 of all the stake capital, which is quite a bit of money these days. And so really what it does is it locks in these chain segments. So at that block that becomes finalized, and anything that came before it, you won't have that reversion. And so finalizing the merge transition is really kind of that symbol of like, you cannot revert. It's the stamp, it's the economic certification that we're firmly in proof of stake.
So once they're finalized, we are locking in economically with the full weight of Ethereum proof of stake.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sick.
Sick. That's an understatement.
Sick.
Sick.
I think sick should be like the underlying word of this whole event.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I was going to say, Vitalik, are you still here? Maybe he left. I'll have to look.
So we've missed one slot.
Vitalik is indeed still
slot
here.
we've missed so far, which is normal given there's like a 99% participation rate. You do miss slots every while. So we've missed one out of the last few epochs, which I think is very normal.
So as we reach the final few minutes, I just had a question. So Vitalik, everyone's like super, super excited right now and like really motivated and really loving Ethereum and the community. Like, do you have like a message for what people should do with that energy?
I feel like I have lots of messages. That's the thing, right? Like, I think, this is the first step in Ethereum's big journey toward being a very mature system, and there's still steps left to go. We still have to scale. We still have to fix privacy. We still have to make the thing actually secure for regular users, and all of this stuff. And I think we all need to work hard and do our part to make all of those other things happen as well. So I'm to me, the merge just like symbolizes the difference between sort of early stage Ethereum and the Ethereum we've always wanted early stage Ethereum to become. So let's go and build out all of the other parts of that ecosystem and turn Ethereum into being what we want it to be.
Awesome.
Just keep building.
It's worth noting.
Just keep
it looks
chugging.
like we've lost about 4% of validators, which my honest estimate was that we could lose 10 to 20% of validators. Going down to 95% participation is incredible. We have so much headroom there, and it's likely that in the next hours, those 4% of offline validators will correct their systems.
Superfice, why do you think we lose people? Because of the execution client missing?
You know, it has been misconfigured in the past. I wouldn't be surprised. We've required JWT secret since Bellatrix, right? So that would explain it. I'm not sure.
It's hard to know. I mean, it could be some sort of intermittent failure with some sort of client pair that we just don't have good visibility on at this point, or it could be misconfiguration or all sorts of stuff. Again, this is the kind of thing where -4% is pretty damn good. You know, pretty near optimal. As I was saying, if anything above 90%, I think everyone's floored here. But that's, you know, it's an indication that there's a little bit of digging to do over the next couple of days. But with client diversity, especially with like kind of the node pairings across consensus layer and execution layer, you can have intermittent failures here and there and still have a resilient network. So that's what we're observing.
Am I correct that we're about 12 slots before potential finalization?
3, because we know if we're getting a high inclusion rate, we know before we get to the epoch boundary that we're going to finalize, which is, it's called an unrealized finalization, but it will in fact be realized. Thus, we can celebrate at that point.
Wenn du Trading meisterst, dann kannst du damit dein komplettes Leben verändern. Also Trading ist eine Kombination aus Wissen, dem Mindset und der Erfahrung. Das finde ich.
What if social media happened exactly where you want it to happen? If social interaction was not bound to pages, platforms, or conventions? If you were able to experience the web together, to be part of a growing community with your avatar, sharing a whole new experience together? As a WEBLIN, this vision has already become a reality. With just one click, every single website can be changed into your own personal interaction platform. No registration needed. You're even able to get to know other WEBLINs that are currently using the website too. Together, we can explore websites and exchange ideas and thoughts, even meet in a video chat, and connect without the need of any other platform or app. Customize your very own avatar with just a few clicks.
Oh, that's the camera from the Ethereum Foundation that y'all are hearing. There's a ton of people at the Ethereum Foundation office yelling right now, and there's a camera being shown around.
Yeah, just imagine hundreds of people working on this for the past 4 years and researching for 3 years before that. This is just an incredible feat. We did a hot swap of the Ethereum network from proof of work to proof of stake, didn't lose the transaction, didn't pause the network. Home users, people using the network, will have no idea that anything has changed, but everything has changed.
We did it live.
We did it live.
We should soon know the participation rate for 876.
Now we've
Which
officially
is
finalized.
96.03% participation rate on 876.
Happy birthday, guys. Bye bye. I have to go pick up my kid.
Bye, Lefteris.
Bye, Lefteris. Welcome. Glad you came.
This is amazing, like absolutely sensational. As Danny said that we made it live. Like Ethereum has made history today with becoming billion-dollar blockchain, performing a successful network upgrade at this scale. That to a live. Congratulations to client team. Definitely, I would like to congratulate all the miners who helped us achieve the date of 15th September. I remember when it was first announced by Tim in the meeting that, okay, we are going to have the merge in mid of September. Most of the news published it like 15th September, we are going to get merged. And see, today is 15th September. Nice timing.
So awesome. And it's worth noting, sometimes there's a need to explain away or describe something that wasn't optimal. But as far as I'm aware, as far as I can tell from the stream, everything was it's time to wrap up our call. And so just to summarize in 2 seconds what has happened, we began this night a couple hours ago as a proof of stake network with thousands of people around the world mining Ethereum with their GPUs. About 5 minutes ago, well, I'm sorry, actually about 13 minutes ago, the entire network shifted to proof of stake, now relying on validators with 32 Ether deposits to guarantee the network. And one of the biggest benefits of that is the 99.98% power reduction. So that is our win. That's why we're so excited and so proud of everyone involved. So that does wrap up our call. We're going to move into some closing stuff now, and I'd like to introduce Patricio Werthalter. I hope on your screen right now you're seeing the POAP art canvas. For the past couple of hours, pixel droppers, people in the community who hold these proof of attendance protocol pixels have been participating. And that project is led by Patricio Werthalter, and he has been a tremendously positive influence in our community, supporting what we do, supporting staking, supporting decentralization. Welcome, Patricio. Tell us what's on your mind today.
There's plenty of stuff on my mind. This has been so long in the making, but let's make it this quick so we wrap up nicely. We've done this beautiful canvas. I don't think we ever had so many people. Not only systems didn't crash, we created